Alright, hello and welcome to another Greenfield Games battle report. We are playing the Crusade. We are playing it on hammer and anvil table quarters, long table edges. We're doing Necrons versus Orks, 1,500 points. I'm going to try out the Necron Dicurian detachment. So again, Crusade, the Orks are going to deploy here, the Necrons are going to deploy over there. Orks won the roll-off. Here is my army. I am running Nemesaur. I'm going to run the Necron Dicurian detachment. First time ever with the new Necrons. I'm running 20 warriors, 15 warriors. I'm running 10 death marks, which aren't part of the Dicurian, but 5 immortals and 3 tomb blades. Other detachment, I'm running the death marks, and I'm bringing the wraith detachment. I'm going to use this destroyer as a spider, and I'm going to bring 6 wraiths with whip coils and 6 scarabs. I'm throwing a Night Scythe in with the warriors. Here is piles of orcs as we are often used to seeing. What do we got? 1,500 points of orcs.
1,500 points. Alright, first off, I'll just start with this big piece. We got an Imperial Knight that I converted Kit Basher to a custom-made Gorkanaut. He has the upgrade for custom force field and none of the other ones. Inside, embarked, he'll be a Big Mech with a fixer-upper, along with burner boys. 3 of them have been upgraded to mech, so they'll be like the repair crew for them. I have a Big Mech with a shock attack gun, 2 Pain Boys HQs, and my War Boss. He'll be my Warlord. Pile of Gretchen Goblins over here with the Runt Herder. 1 big pile of 20 Slugger Boys right here. 12 Tank Busters with a Tank Knob Boss. He'll be embarked in this truck. That's a looted Hammerhead that I'm converting into a truck. In this other truck right here, we got another pile of Ork Shooter Boys. This is just another truck right here, but it's a looted Rhino. Right here, we got a small squad of Gretchen, another big pile, 20 total. And right here we have another pack of 20 Slugger Boys, including another. So there are certain circumstances where you're getting dropped. That's my 15 point list.
Alright, we'll be back with deployment. Orcs are going to deploy over here. Necrons will be across the field. Alright, here's the Orc deployment. He's got a truck full of Shooter Boys over here. Gretchen in the ruin over there with the big 60-inch gun there. War Bosses over there in a group of Slugger Boys. The mech unit is in the Gorkanaut.
That's actually a
Morkanaut. And another group of Sluggers are behind there. The Tank Buster dudes are in the looted Tau vehicle. And you got Gretchen in that far ruin.
Yes, sir.
Our objectives, we have 1 objective up in that building, 1 objective here in the center,
1 in this big block.
1 amongst the Gorkanaut,
1 right there amongst
1 there, and 1 amongst the Wraiths. That's Orks. Necrons put the Scarab unit with Scarab, Spider, and Wraiths there. Nemesaur and 20 dudes are here. 15 dudes are there, Immortals are back there, Death Marks are in the building, and the Flyer is going to fly on, and the Tomb Blades are going to reserve on. So all I have left to do is potentially try to seize the initiative. No seize, so Orks, you get your first turn?
Yes, sir.
We'll be back.
Orks, turn 1.
Alright, so Nemesaur chose his Warlord trait, making the Orks take 3 pinning tests, and the far unit of Sluggers failed, and they had to kill 3 dudes to stay in the fight. The other Slugger Boys moved forward. A bunch of shooting from the Gorkanaut went into the Nemesaur squad and killed, I think, 2. And a bunch of shooting from the truck of Shooter Boys went into the squad of 15 and killed also 2. So tons and tons of shooting into the... Oh, and then your tank busters shot... What'd you shoot at?
The race, but you made your involves.
Oh, right. Race made their involves. So hardy Necrons absorbed a ton of orc shooting. 4 Necrons are down. And that's the scope of the board halfway through 1.
So I can't really say.
Alright, so epic fail, turn 1. That's normal for me. Anytime I do something new, it's many games before I get anything to work. I fired all of this, the Immortals and the 15 or 13 Warriors. I was able to get First Blood and pop the truck, but literally everything else, I fired all the death marks, all of the Nemesaur and his unit into them, and they literally held, they made every save with custom force field. And then over there on the far side of the table, I needed a 7-inch charge on my swarm to get to the truck, and he got 1 Overwatch kill and turned me into like an 11-inch charge, so that failed. So I did literally nothing. Well, I popped the vehicle.
First Blood.
First Blood. But overall, new Necrons are doing what things normally do and just don't work for me. So we'll see. Still a lot of game left. Alright, so the Orks on their turn 2, obviously they're not over there anymore. They got their Slugga boys into combat, disorderly charged both my Necron units. Over there they got the other Slugga boys charged into combat with Wraiths. So we got 2 combats going on. We had this combat where I ended up winning, right? I ended up winning by a couple, but we held. And same thing over there. You did a wound on my Wraith. I killed a couple dudes, 1 combat, but you stuck in. So we're stuck in there, stuck in here, and a little bit of shooting from that did nothing.
Pretty much nothing.
But I'm in a really bad position. I'm tied up here. I got very little to shoot at, and I'm getting handled by some orcs over here. So we'll do turn 2, bottom of turn 2. Alright, this was turn 2 for the Necrons. And what all did I do? I was able to jockey some death marks closer into the building, moving through cover, and those very far unit of Immortals. Dumped a bunch of fire. Oh, and the flyer flew on. All those guys dumped fire into the shooter boys behind the terrain piece you can't see, and I killed them down to like 2 guys, and they're running. Moved the Scarabs to here, and of course he killed 2 bases in Overwatch, but I still got in. I did 0 hull points, 1 hull point, but I did do it from the shooting, or I can't remember. I shot the Toon Blades, they came on and attacked here with these Scarabs. I should have definitely done a lot more than 1 hull point, but didn't. And combat over here, we tied, or did I win?
You won.
I won. Oh, right, and then you rolled the roll to stay locked. And then over here, in the disorderly charge, the Warlord, the squad with Nemesaur, broke and ran, but the Orks were held up by the other unit, which held, and so they couldn't get chased down. And that's it. So stuck in combat here, stuck in combat here. Not stuck in combat against the tank busted truck. And turn 4. Turn 3, I mean.
Top of turn 3?
Top of 3. Okay, so for Orc turn 3, got his tank buster unit over there, shot into my Toon Blades and killed 2. Also dumped his Gorkonaut's blast marker on Nemesis. Oh, right, it was this big shotgun from way across the table. Landed on Nemesaur's unit and killed several. The assaults were the most effective thing. He's rolled insane heroism on those Orcs 3 turns in a row. And so they're held up. And the Gorkonaut joined the assault. And then these guys wiped out the smaller unit of warriors and consolidated a little bit. And then you moved your Gretchen towards the objective. So He's getting on his objectives. He's joined his assault. My wraiths are continue to be tied up. We didn't even need the Gorkanaut. Those freaking boys are the bravest orcs ever. And
there's 4 left.
these guys wiped a unit of Necrons, and the tank buster dudes killed some Tomb Blades. That's halfway through 3. Okay, on Necron turn 3, jockey these immortals forward and got some positioning from the death marks, rained fire into them, and got them down to a war boss and a pain boy. Nemesis got into range of the tank hunter unit way back in the corner there, but rolled poor and have low numbers, so I only did 1 more hull point, so that is 1 tough truck. Night Scythe didn't have anything else to do but dump fire into Gretchen, killed 3. And then the Spider and Scarabs joined the assault with the Wraiths and the Gorkanaut. Finished off the Slugga Boys, but ended up staying locked in combat over there. So, kind of wrapping things up. Orcs are pretty dominant on their objectives. I do have First Blood, but he's likely to get Linebreaker, could get Warlord, we'll see. But I'm responding better than I thought. That first turn, I thought it was just a done over game, but the Necrons are hardy. Alright, here's the center of the action, pretty much all happening here. Before that, we had the... What's left? Your War Boss and Pain Boy. They charged the building here. They locked up with the death marks and killed, I think, 3. Shooting the 60-inch shot landed on the Immortals, but they made their reanimations. You dumped some tank hunting shots into here, and you killed 1 or 2, right? And then big combat here. We had.
You finally killed off the boys.
Yeah, the Wraiths took 3 turns, finally killed the boys off, turned their attention on the mech dude. Scarabs got 1 hull point on the Gorkanaut. So, huge locked up combat here. Another locked up combat in that building there. Orcs are on their 2 objectives, and they're in my backfield. So that's the table at the end of, or halfway through. Alright, so as far as what's left, not a lot's left on the board. Time's moving up. Got my Night Scythe turned. I crowded my Nemesis tank hunting unit and the Tomb Blade. Was able to wreck that and killed, what, 3 dudes or so?
Like 4 dudes.
3 or 4 dudes. And then in the big... the death marks in the building got wiped out, and War Boss moved forward on the Immortals. And then here, what did I do? I did a Rend with the Wraiths.
And then everyone's like, took that, bring it up to 1 left.
Has 1 hull point left through Rends from the Wraiths and some Entropic Strikes from the Scarabs. So we are locked in the center of the board. It's going to be top of 5, and this game should end this turn. There won't be much left after the end of turn 5. Alright, the Orcs are closing in. Fully on that objective. He popped out his command dudes from the Gorkanaut, and the War Boss and them killed the Immortals that were there. I did a crap ton of Entropic Strikes, or hits, but I got 0 6s. I rolled like 14 dice, and none of them were 6s. The Wraith managed to do, I think, 1 wound into it, so he's down to his last hull point, but those stupid Scarabs can't roll a 6. And what else did you do to me? Did you do anything here?
I blew up your thingy with my tank busters.
Right, yeah, that's the other thing. He snapshot at my Night Scythe, rolled like 3 6s, and
one of them was
exploded it.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. Really, really good on the Orcs. Pretty much handling the table. We're going to play it out just to see if I can kill this Gorkanaut, but he's got 1, 2, 3 objectives and line breaker. I have 1 objective and first blood, so we'll just play it out because I can get a little. Well, we'll see next turn if the Gorkanaut. All right, moral victory. You'll notice that the Gorkanaut is only partially there. That's really what I wanted to do. I dumped all the shooting from Nemesaur and the Tomb Blade into the tank busters, but one guy held, so he's going to continue to get line breaker. Moral victory in that
You blew up this.
Yeah, I blew it up with the scarabs.
Here, so you get that one too.
So at the end of the game, he's going to hold his far objectives. You're going to hold your center table objective. I'm going to hold 1. You're going to have Warlord. I'm going to have First Blood. We could play. I mean, we could try to play it out and see if you could potentially kill my Nemesaur or something. But chances are it'll end similar like this, and it's getting late anyway. Adam, a great game, really fun,
Definitely.
super nice, painted army, good narrative play. Really appreciate it. And that's pretty much the game at the end. Orks held 3 objectives and had line breaker. Necrons held 1 objective and had first blood. A lot of fun, a lot of shoot, and continue to watch these bat reps. And of course, check out our podcast, Veterans of the Long War, on iTunes and on Facebook. See you again.